We're going to talk about 5 do's and don'ts that are game changers in your spiritual progress. Hi, I'm Elemi from Yeyeo Botanica. Welcome to your spiritual home. And if this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. Remember, our channel's about spiritual lifestyle, everyday rituals, ancestors, and African spirituality. And if you're interested in any of those topics, stick around. But first, I want to shout out all my people from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Woohoo! Welcome. So, sacred spaces that are inside, right? We can have outside spaces and inside spaces. So for all of you who are considering or have a sacred space inside, you could call it also an altar. We're going to talk about 5 do's and don'ts that are game changers in your spiritual progress. So let's get started. Many of you have seen my ancestor altar do's and don'ts videos and have had a lot of questions. I've answered many of them in lives in addition to Q&A videos. But this video in particular is about setting up a sacred space. It does not matter whether or not it's a prayer space, an intention space, such as money drawing, love drawing, success, manifestation, or it's for just you having a moment to be able to convene with your divine self, your God, your spirituality. This video are for people in every single one of those categories. Basically, for you, if you're on a spiritual journey or you're leveling up your spiritual life. So what is a sacred space? A sacred space is a space that you designate to be with your divine self. A space that is just for you or to be shared with loved ones and people around you. As an example, when you go into a church, a mosque, a temple, a synagogue, that is a sacred space, sacred ground, right? And so just as you can go into a space like that, you can have one within your own home. And some people are very kind of scared about, oh, well, what's coming there? Well, if you have a special window that you like to sit at and pray there, or sit there and burn candles and have incense and really calm yourself, even to meditate, hello, that's a sacred space. You've designated it as a sacred space, even though you may not realize that's what you've done. So here are some 5 top do's and don'ts that I think will be very helpful. The first one is a do. So we're going to do do's and then don'ts. The first one is a do, which is privacy. The space needs to allow you to sit with some level of privacy that you don't have to worry about, are people watching what I'm doing? Can I leave my private things out if there's certain passages that I like to read or certain things that maybe I'd like to write? Some people journal in their sacred space. All of that, it's important to be able to have privacy. And what is a don't? Don't have this space where there are activities that may not be in alignment with what the space is about. Example, well, if it's a sex altar and a sex sacred space, then have all the sex you want in front of that space, right? If it's a money space, then maybe you're working on your finances in front of that space. But if it doesn't fall in those kinds of categories, then if it's for meditation, quiet, peace, prayer, then it's maybe best not to have that in a space that you're having the other types of activities that I just mentioned, right? So people oftentimes ask, oh, well, can I put it in a bedroom? Absolutely, you can put it in a bedroom. But my suggestion is it's in a closet in a bedroom, or you put a screen around it in a bedroom, not just having it totally open. So for all my people who've asked that question or curious about that answer, that's my take. The next one is that it's a peaceful space, that you can be there peacefully and not really be interrupted that easily when you're in this space. So, having said that, it's not good to have it, in other words, a don't, in a heavily trafficked area, in a hallway, near a door where people are going back and forth. I'm going to put a question mark about a bathroom, right? Because some people have additional bathrooms in their home or where they live where people don't traffic that a lot. And it's the only place that they can use to be in with some level of privacy. Remember, privacy was number one, being peaceful or not in a heavily trafficked area. The third one is in a place where there's some level of abundance and flow, right? It could be by a window. It could be in a corner in a living room. It could be in a kitchen where there's a nice, beautiful little corner. It could be in a closet that is open where you're not feeling very restricted. So a don't is being stifled in your prayer life or in your sacred space. Feeling stifled, feeling stagnant, feeling that you cannot express yourself, right? That is very, very important. So we have privacy, we have peace, and we have abundance. And then from the don'ts, we've got all the don'ts I said. So now our fourth one is to be comfortable. This is one of the things that I think that people really take for granted with a sacred space. As an example, for me, I like a sacred space that's like really comfortable. I can sit up, I can sit back, I can kind of lounge if I want, I can be very intentional, all because I want to be able to have different feelings while I'm here. That sacred space could be a place to unload, right? The sacred space could be a place to get a lot of energy. Whatever it works for you, however you want it to be in a way that when you're utilizing this space, you're comfortable, right? Not standing the whole time. You need to be able to sit or do something that brings forth some level of comfort. So that goes back to what I said. Don't be stifled. Don't feel restricted in this space. And then lastly, that this is an approachable space, right? It feels inviting. There are things there that really are reminiscent for you. Like as an example, for me in my sacred space, I like to have plants, right? Some people like to have water flowing. I like to have light where I can see outside if I choose to, or just get natural light. Whatever works for you as it pertains to being approachable, inviting, come, sit over here, be in your divine self, be with God, be in your true place. You want it to feel like that, right? Versus when you're at the space, it's too high. You can't really see up there, right? Or it's cluttered with so much stuff around it that you can't really feel and vibrate whatever it is. Remember, here's my last sweet thing for you today. Sacred spaces need to have clarity. There needs to be something about it that feels very clear, very pure, not cluttered with 50 million tchotchkes around, that you can't really focus on, okay, this is something here at the altar that I can focus on. This is something here at the space that I can focus on. Versus there's so many things going on that it's difficult for you to just focus in your mind. So those are my 5 hot do's and don'ts for having a sacred space altar. And my sweet, sweet thing for all of you. Love you, want to see you grow, progress. And here at Yeyeo Botanica, you all know that we're about empowering you as best we can. Remember, give me a thumbs up, hit the bell to stay in the know, and become a part of our exclusive YouTube family by subscribing and sharing us with others. I hope you got at least one thing out of this video. And I see you next time. Ashe, ashe, ashe.